change the oil filter in an Audi, this is a 2.0T from a 2006 A4. It's a little bit different than some other cars. It has a cartridge oil filter instead of a canister style, so it's a little different. Instead of using an oil filter wrench that you would use on a traditional oil filter, you have these sockets that go onto the end of it right there, and that's how you're going to be able to take it off and break it loose. On the bottom of the filter canister, there's this plastic screw that comes out, and there's a little valve here where you can drain the oil out. So whenever you take the canister off, it's not going to spill oil everywhere. Instead of replacing an entire metal can, you just get a little paper insert like this, put it into this plastic housing, and screw it back up into the car.
Up on the driver's side of the car is where the canister screws into.
And I'm going to refill it with 40 weight oil. Before you pull this off the blocks, you want to check for any leaks underneath, and it would also be a good idea to put maybe a sheet of cardboard or paper underneath where you were working, just in case there's a small leak, say on one of the filters or the drain plugs, and you let that sit overnight, you'll be able to see if there's any oil drips. Make sure you put the oil cap or the dipstick back on, because the engine doesn't run very well without any of these two plugged in, because it pulls a vacuum on the system. I'll pull this off so you can see how bad it runs. Almost dies. Now what that means, on this particular engine, we have a good PCV system. That means it's pulling a vacuum, and whenever you pull that off, it disrupts the PCV system, and that's what's supposed to happen, and that's how you can check for a good PCV system on this particular engine. Same thing with the dipstick. You can hear the vacuum and the engine changes RPM. Once the engine's warmed up, double check the oil on level ground, and that looks great.